I mean, yeah, I think there's just a crazy electricity about New York, and I always, and I've been saying this a lot too over the past few months, that I feel like if I'm in New York, I know that I can make some magic happen, because there's like this energy, and there's like possibility, and people always want to collaborate in New York. So that's something that I appreciate about it. But like what kept me, honestly, I think it was the possibility of what I could grow into being in the service industry. You know, I don't know. It was, again, my eyes were open to a lot in terms of. First of all, I made more money than I ever made, so that definitely.
Yeah, for real.
So like being at a comfortable place financially, being able to eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, and to travel and do these things, travel because of these things. It just, it all went back to being in New York City for me. It was like, this was the center of my magic starting to express itself. So it was a lot about New York that kept me.
That's really awesome. So
if that answers the question, I hope that answers.
100%. Because with that helps like keep your career going. Because I feel like if you're in a place that you don't enjoy being in, it's really hard to advance your career and advance like things you want to do. Yeah, you may be in a position of what you want to do, but it's hard to like grow if there's nobody in the area growing with you.
And the thing about New York that I love too is people try shit. So like going back to what you said, like there was always like some new like event or thing happening that you would find out about. I think that speaks to the energy behind like, you know what, you're here, make some shit happen, create something new. What are you bringing to the city? Because everybody in New York is they are the big fishes of their small pond, and they're the best at what they do. So you have a city full of the people who are the best at what they do. So everybody's like, all right, well, what you got? What are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
We are all elevating this culture collectively. So what are you adding, right? And so that element was always there, and something that kept me in the city, because I was always like meeting somebody who's like, oh, this person's so dope at this. I want to like hear more about their story and learn from them, maybe build with them. So it was always that kind of synergy, you know? Yeah, completely. Yeah. I tell people all the time, and my apologies if it's taking off course, but my time at ABC Kitchen, for example, and I guess to a certain extent, this is just how I feel about New York City. It was like going to grad school. You know, it was being here. It has introduced me to a completely different social network. I've learned about myself. I've learned about like more things than I would have even thought in terms of like food, wine, how to sell food and wine, how to talk about these things, how to present myself, how to carry myself, learning about myself as a brand and creating products as a brand. So like all this shit I've learned just from living here, and like people would pay for the things that we know just from living here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. I mean, I took a lot of pride in the fact that I worked where I worked, and I worked in New York City, and I could go anywhere and be like, I mean, we all have like a little bit of ego, and I know full well that when I go somewhere else, it's like, yeah, I worked at ABC Kitchen and Charlie Bird. People are like, oh, he's a bad bitch. And like, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Absolutely.